All right, we are joined by Matt Moore, our fan Nuggets insider, joining us now courtesy of Budweiser. All right, Matt, Tyler and I have been going back and forth on this for quite a while. Tyler, you admit I basically got this right?
I admitted
No?
you were going to get it more or less close. Yes, yes.
And I think I got it, but Matt, why don't you break down for us the how the NBA is going to proceed?
Okay, we're going to do 22 teams because that's a number that makes sense for some reason. We're going to bring the Suns and the Wizards. We're going to bring the Suns and the Wizards because lots of people are like, you know what I need in my life is more Suns and Wizards. We're going to play 8 regular season games, and it's likely going to be based on the schedule, except for if you've already played 8 games before you're supposed to play the other team, in which case they're going to have an algorithm to try and figure out who else you should play that is remaining.
Nice!
It's going to be if you're within 4 games of the 8th spot, you will play a play-in in which the 8th seed has to lose twice. You can lose once and you're eliminated to determine the 8th seed. Everything else is standard, 7-game format all the way through. We crown a champion. We take a month and a half off, and then we start the 2020-21 season.
Wow. Well,
Good
first
job,
off,
Matt.
well done. I mean, extremely well done. Second off,
I love the fact you threw the algorithm in there as well. That was excellent.
that's like the first thing that majorly captured my attention is the algorithm.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
what
I
the heck's
can't
going
wait
on
to
there?
see how the algorithm works out for the Nuggets. I can't wait to see it. But what this does say is that the Nuggets are, hey, we just made the playoffs officially, right? That's official.
Yeah.
The Nuggets are in, right, Matt?
Yeah, there's no way in 8 games. They'll have already clinched. Everybody except the Grizzlies. Funny how that works. Everybody except Memphis, that notably big market, will have clinched. And everybody in the Eastern Conference except for the Nets and Magic will have clinched and already be in. And from there, it's about seeding.
Okay. So what's this do for the Nuggets? How you feel about this setup for the Denver Nuggets?
I think it's fine. I mean, one of the questions is, where do you want to be? Like, who do you want to play? And I think right now, the Nuggets will have the opportunity to maintain their spot. One of the advantages is that there is no schedule differential here. So, there's not, the Pelicans had the 30th toughest remaining schedule. Well, now that gets normalized because everybody's playing the same playoff teams because you're only playing the teams in the bubble.
Okay.
There's various degrees, but the Nuggets will face the Lakers most likely first, and then from there they'll have an opportunity to keep the 3 seed or overtake for the 2 seed. And at that point, they can stay out of the Lakers bracket until the Western Conference Finals. That's good. Houston and those other teams will have an opportunity to see who it is that they want to play. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of jockeying and a lot of push, honestly, because you're not pushing for home court because it doesn't exist.
What will these games do for lottery purposes? Will they have any impact whatsoever on the lottery?
That's one thing that hasn't been reported and that I have not heard yet. It's a big concern. Every single executive I've talked to in the league has said, well, I'm most concerned about our draft position.
Yeah,
I'm
fair
wondering.
enough.
I'm genuinely wondering. I genuinely think that they're probably going to lock it based off of the March 11th results. I don't see these games affecting it because you're then punishing the teams that play because, somebody's got to win in these situations, and that hurts your draft stock inherently by winning. And a lot of these teams are still in contention. A lot of these teams are still in contention for a lottery spot. So my feeling is that they're going to lock it on March 11th. I've heard a lot of discussion today and asking questions about how various things are going to be decided, and they say that they're not going to treat this 8 games as it's kind of the regular season and kind of not, which adds to the confusion about how weird all of it is.
Okay. I like it. And Tyler, I think I think this is a good compromise. I didn't actually really, really nail it. And I know you, Tyler, wanted to just start with the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to go in at 16 teams, seed them based off the record as it is today, and let's roll.
I had an idea of Matt. I had an idea of a 4-team round robin, so you would have 6 4-team sort of things, and you'd play 6 games. And then the 9, 10, 11, and 12, they would battle for essentially some sort of play-in spot. But I like this as a compromise. I mean, it says if you were kind of within, range, we'll give you a shot, right? But at the end of the day, we're going to just have the regular playoffs at the end of 8 games. That's essentially what's happened, right, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not as big a fan of it because I was really behind the group play concept once I started to see the proposals that were out there. One, it was going to limit it to 20 teams, which means you have these teams are bringing 35 people. So you would inherently have 75 fewer people in the bubble. Two, by doing group play, you're limiting the number of teams that they play against. So if a player does get it and then somehow tests negative when he's positive, which doesn't happen very often, but if that were to be the case, and he was exposed to another team, there's only 5 other teams he could be exposed by. Now we have all of this, pardon the expression, but cross-pollination of exposure level because everybody's kind of playing together. If you're going to take the approach of we want to keep it safe so we're not bringing everybody, then why not just bring 16? And the answer is money. The answer is money. They want to get the regular season in so that they can make up some of the revenue. Now, the players are also adamant. They were from the very first official phone call that they had with the league. Chris Paul and the Players Union said, we are of the opinion that we need actual games, not preseason, not friendlies, not scrimmages. We need games in order to get into condition before we begin the playoffs. So that part I get, and I think it's important. But when we look at this, it seems like a compromise that somehow caters to all of the problems without solving a lot of the concerns. And that's why I tend to be I think maybe we in trying to keep it simple, we may have actually made this more difficult than it needed to be.
Well, I don't have any complaints. It sounds good to me. I think it's good for the Nuggets. That's all. That's where I'm coming from. And, I mean, does this put the Nuggets at any disadvantage? Seriously, guys. Or is there really any disadvantage here for the Nuggets?
Well, not compared to anybody else, no.
Yeah, so for us, it looks all right, I think.
Yeah,
Matt?
it's a good outcome for the Nuggets. I'll say that. It allows them to control their destiny. It allows them to maintain their place in the seedings and avoid the Lakers until the Western Conference Finals. It doesn't expose them to the risk of group play where they could not make the bracket at all. This works out really well for Denver, who is going to be healthy and recovered. And from everything I hear, Jokic and Murray look great in the workouts. There's a lot of reason for optimism about what this means for Denver.
Hey, by the way, when the 8 regular season games are played, will those be broadcast nationally, or will they be broadcast by the local markets as if they were the final 8 regular season games of the year?
They're still trying to figure that out. That hasn't been announced, and I haven't heard it reported. One person I talked to said that it was very likely that it was going to be nationally televised because they have to generate revenue for everybody.
Right.
And they're trying to basically make up the revenue for everybody to avoid the financial hit because, the Warriors are going to be fine, and the Bulls are going to be fine, and the Knicks are going to be fine.
Listen. I'm asking this very, very specifically for the Denver market because we have our other issue with broadcasting the games, and I think that would be the ultimate – you got to be kidding me moment if it finally comes back. There's 8 Nuggets games and we still can't watch them. I mean or there's a good portion of the audience in the Denver area that couldn't watch them. I'll be more specific.
Yeah, the person I talked to was not in Denver, but they did say that they felt most of the games would be nationally televised because there would be such an appetite for the NBA that they would go ahead and generate a schedule with those media partners that would pretty much cover the majority of those 8 games.